told you that one man could defy the odds and defeat the system.
Noah Patrick Burke, born April 29th, 1999, at Menorah Medical Center, came out a whopping 2 feet and 12 pounds. Noah started out kindergarten at Visitation Catholic School, where the system has failed him for the first time. Being forced to repeat kindergarten for the second year, Noah grew up too fast. However, he adapted to his new classmates, and we were able to speak to him about his times at Visitation.
My time at Viz. Well, my time at Viz, I never was the most athletic, never was the smartest, but I always had the biggest heart. They always tried to kick me out of class, but every time I went back in there, and I stood my ground. My favorite story of Viz was going into 8th grade year, 7th grade summer, first day of summer. We had our annual pool party at the McClany's house, and anything can happen at those pool parties. It was like the Playboy Mansion. So we were all sitting on the trampoline, all the Viz girls were there, and Maps Klein, he had the guts of a warrior, and he came out and said, let's play spin the bottle. That was unheard of, and it worked. And you know what? I was so happy. I got to kiss all the Viz girls, and they were so pretty. Let me tell you something. I felt like a true champion after. I went ahead and called my friend Ben Lander, and you know what I said? I said, Ben, today is the day I finally kissed a woman.
Growing up in Brookside made Noah the man he is today.
The thing about Brookside is it's a brotherhood. Once you come in, you can never leave. No matter if you move to Minnesota, Prairie Village, wherever, you can never leave that true brotherhood.
Here are some things that childhood friends have said about Noah.
Noah, growing up with Noah, he was always a good friend, and he has been for the past, 15 years?
Growing up with Noah, I had a lot of fun memories. He's one of my closest family friends. We went to the lake together. Just a really fun-loving guy. He's just one of those kids who's just really tough. I never really see him cry or complain. He just rolls the punches, goes with the flow.
Due to Noah's struggles at Visitation, he was sent to an accelerated school.
I was always jacking around, causing trouble. So we decided I had to go to accelerated schools in Overland Park. And, that was a dark memory, but there's not much to say about that school. But surprisingly, I was the greatest athlete to ever walk the halls of that school. Let me show you something. Keep it around with me every day. See that? Most improved athlete. I don't give that out to anyone. And I thought that this would carry over to my Rockhurst days. Well, that's a whole different story. Rockhurst. The greatest year of my life. Or was it? I came to that school with a chip on my shoulder and a target on my back. First week of school, I got the red slip. And I passed. Second week of school, got the red slip. And I passed. Smooth sailing from there on out. I was getting to know the halls and getting to know some great people. Then came January. Got the red slip. Failed. I'm not saying it's rigged, but there was something fishy going on. Maybe they had something against me. Maybe they were just intimidated by me. Well, 90 days came by and I had stayed sober as a mule. And then I failed. I remember the day Mr. McGowan called me down to his office and he said, "No, I got some bad news." And I said, "Well, this can't be possible." So I had a meeting with Darby and he said, "Son, I don't think you're going to be able to make it here." So that was that. I'd worked so hard just to get to where I was, and yet I had to leave. There being only a year, it was more of a mythical story of my time at Rockhurst. People hear it, and they think it's a legend. Wow. I just want people to know that Rockhurst, they say they're a Jesuit school, but it's a system. And the system is rigged against you. You're not going to beat the system as much as you try. So, all I can say is, you're going to have to join the system. They'll brainwash you and they'll try to get you, but you know what? If you want to be like me, then you go against the system. And that's all I have to say about that.
Noah pled his innocence, but they refused to believe. In response to his dismissal, his parents sent him on a 30-day retreat to the dark forest of Minnesota.
Shortly after my Rockers days, I decided to spend a month in the woods in the Boundary Waters up in Minnesota. During my time, I spent 28 days in the woods. No contact with the outside world, no distractions. Really cleared my head. Out there, I learned how to survive. We're distracted by so many different things. Woman, alcohol, school, whatever. But, you know, I just cleared my head. And I was able to gather the knowledge I needed to be able to survive when I came back. Well, every day we woke up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, packed up camp. We packed our canoes and we navigated the many treacherous waters up in Minnesota. We went from lake to lake using a method called portaging. We would put the canoes and backpacks on our back and go from land to lake. Did that for about 28 days straight. Of course, there's no running water in the Boundary Waters, so I had to go off into the woods, dig a hole with my bare hands, take a dump, wipe with a leaf, and then cover the hole up so no one else would fall in it or something. And then one night we faced a very big storm, and I noticed something in that storm. I wasn't scared. I was ready to face it. This storm was just all of my fears, all of my misadventures, everything I've done wrong packed into one giant storm, and I was ready to face it. You know, I thought I wouldn't make it out. I thought my mistakes would come back to take me with it. But I faced it head on, and I came out on top. 2 kids in that storm weren't so lucky. Their mistakes, they were too big for them to take on.
Noah learned some valuable lessons in the woods, but he also suffered from PTSD.
In the woods, you have to know what is edible. And what's not.
Since his time in the woods, Noah Burke has matured, and he is alive and well, prospering at Bishop Neas High School, where he plans to graduate and pursue a college degree in astrophysics.
I don't want to do it. Stay out. If I had a chance to live my life over, I probably wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it, cause I'd have been through it. I know I've been through it, probably wouldn't even do it. I don't want to do it. If I had a chance to live my life over.